To continue this concept, I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the page, and I'll just use my hand tool to click and drag so we can get to the bottom. This object down here, commonly referred to on a form as a bug, is something that looks like some text on the document. However, it's a button, and it's a button that uses a text label. So I'll double-click on it to open up its properties, and you can see that the layout is label only, and here's the label. Now, in this case, this was a form that I had used before, and it was a form that, say, I built for another company, so I need to go in and change the label. That's something that I can do. This is another reason that I like to use these buttons this way, because it gives me an element on the form that if I don't have the original form document, I can edit. And it's frequently the case that I'll work with forms that were built quite some time ago, and I don't even have the original authoring document. This is a way that I can sort of dress them up and fix them or get them to where I need them to be. I'll type the new company name and click Close. Once again, I'll preview it, and the button has been set correctly so that I can't click it. But you might be thinking that I could use a text field for this. In fact, if you were thinking that, you'd be correct. There isn't any reason that for this particular bug, I couldn't use a text field instead of a button field. However, there's one thing that I want to add to this, which is why I'm using a button field here. I'll double-click on it, and under the options, instead of label only, I actually want to add a logo to this bug as well. So I'm going to move it up so that we can see the whole thing. And for my layout, instead of label only, I'll choose label left, icon right. Now I'll choose an icon, and once again I'm going to use that same logo file that I've provided for you in the Lesson 2 folder. I'll click OK, and it adds the icon to the button along with the text. Now the logo itself is a little bit far away from this text, so I'm going to click the Advanced button here so that I can just nudge it over a little bit. Click OK, and I'll nudge it over just a little bit more. Click OK, and I could click Close, but I'm also noticing that the bug is no longer centered. So I'll go ahead and grab it and just resize the box for the button to try and center the text along with the icon. And that's one of the things that I like about the way Acrobat works with any of these form field properties. I can adjust the size of the form field with the properties box open. And so if I need to, I can begin to tweak things a little bit. So I'll try and center it, and I'll return to the icon placement and just move that over a little bit. I can create a nice visual representation of this bug while keeping the properties dialog box open. It's very convenient. Now the final thing that I want to do here is to resize the icon so that it's smaller and so that it doesn't get quite so close to the bottom of the page. The only thing that I can ask Acrobat to do with this icon in a button is to scale it so that it fits the button. So to make the logo smaller, what I'll do is shrink the button. And we'll move it down just a little bit. And I don't want to infringe on the text, but I want the logo to be nice and small so that it sort of matches the size of the text. And there we have it. As a final step with this, I want to lock this because I don't want to accidentally move this. It's very precisely placed and I don't want to move it, so I'll click Locked. And now I'm done, so I'll click Close. Because it's difficult to tell if everything's in the right place with all of the button dressing, if you will, these outlines in place, I'm going to select the preview mode and take a look at it. And there we have it. Reasonably centered, looks pretty good, logo's nice and small, so I'm done.